Hi guys, and welcome to your weekly tarot reading for Sunday the 22nd of December, going through until Sunday the 29th of December 2019. Thank you for joining me. I'm using the Shadowscapes Tarot for today's deck. I'm going to do the reading a little bit differently today. So first of all, I'm going to shuffle and tune in and just ask the cards, what is this next week about? What can we look forward to? All right, so let's choose 5 cards today. So that's number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and let's say number 5. Right there. Okay, so we've got 5 cards here. I would like you, I'm just going to line them up so that they're straight. I would like you now, once I've done that, to pick a card, please. I'm going to just give you a couple of seconds to look at the screen and to look at the 5 cards and just to think, which one is mine? Okay, have you chosen? Good. So I'm going to turn all the cards around. So, if you chose this card, the 4 of Pentacles, you need to be aware that being flexible and adaptable is actually something that is really appreciated by other people. If you're rigid and you say, this is the way we're doing it, this is the way we've always done it, it's going to cause problems. So if you chose this first card, learn to relax, learn to let go. Don't be a dragon hoarding his loot there, and just breathe and realize that, you know, money and bills will always come in January. The food does cost something. So right now, don't worry so much about the fallout. And I'm not saying be irresponsible. What I'm saying is that at least enjoy the moment and don't just worry about the future of your finances. If you chose the 3 of Cups, you're going to have a fabulous time. You're articulate, you're with friends, you're with family, you enjoy it, you have loads of love for other people. So that's a very easy Christmas period for you. The Knight of Cups, riding towards the Holy Grail there. If you chose this card, you feel lacking within and like you need to find love from God or another person or the world or your work. And you need to find this love to feel fulfilled. So if you pulled this card, you're someone who feels like they're not good enough and they need outside help to become great. If you pick this card, just realize that the universe is perfect and abundant and infinite. You're part of the universe, so you're also abundant and infinite and full of marvels. If you pick this cup, make sure you look in the mirror and you say, I am perfect as I am. I don't need anyone's validation of who I am through academic achievements, through financial success, through how many partners you have. It's about, the nights are always extreme. So if you pick this card, try and find balance within yourself. And that's by realizing you're good enough and also meditating, creating peace for yourself. Do whatever you do that helps you calm down. The Queen of Cups. If you chose this card, you are really the maternal figure of this Christmas period. You feel obligated to take care of all your little baby turtles there, and you do it with grace and with pleasure and with joy. So if you've picked this card, you're totally in control of Christmas. You have nothing to worry about if you celebrate Christmas, or, if you don't, the days are still off. So most people, regardless of religion, Hanukkah is on. I know Ramadan and Eid are early next year, but I mean, they all, everybody, I mean, the 25th is a public holiday. So everyone's going to really be likely to be around other people that they're not usually around at this time of year. And if you chose this card, then really, you can relax. You have nothing to worry about, because the Queen of Cups has mastered the element of cups. Unlike the Knight, he still thinks he needs something to become the Queen or the King. She's already got it. She realizes that she is where the party's at. She is the nurturing and the loving, and people come to her. She doesn't have to seek out anything. She's complete within herself. Finally, if you chose this card, the Ace of Swords, that is a gift from the universe. It means that you're going to have an amazing ability to communicate clearly. You'll be able to tell funny stories. You'll be able to entertain the kids. You'll be able to bring some lightness into the atmosphere. If things are really stifled and difficult, you're the one who is fluent and optimistic and not downcast, but looking to the future in a positive way. You also may be given some sort of amazing inspiration that suddenly comes in. I'm in Austria at the moment, and I was meditating here before I started to do this reading and tried the setup and everything so that you guys could see it. And while I meditated, I got the message to do it this way. I've never done a reading like this before. So if you pick this card, realize that your ability to communicate is really a gift and a treasure, that you're likely to be right, but you're clever enough not to get into arguments. You'll leave other people to their beliefs if that's what they feel. You know what's right for you. You may be inspired, like I said, but it's also a time where you can make easy decisions. So anything to do with swords, which is the element of air, thinking, communication, decision-making, thinking, academia, logic, all of those things, you're going to really be blessed. So let's have a shuffle of these cards, just a little shuffle until we don't know which ones are which anymore. And please remember which card you had, right? Because I'm going to put them out as a 5-card spread, and then it'll give us a message for all of us over the day. But you pay extra attention to the card that you've chosen, because that's going to be more meaningful to you. Oh, fabulous. I'm having to, this is on a sofa. I'm having to make do here. So let's see. Okay. So what the daily reading is about, where you're at is this. You feel a little bit nervous. You feel, most of us often, even if you celebrate or don't, you immediately become aware of your feelings towards other people, and you can possibly be nervous about what you've got to do. Either if you have to travel to get to people you care about, that can make you nervous and can be an emotional turmoil. It can be really fulfilling, but also exhausting, because you're not sure about yourself. You're not aiming to this thing. Christmas has to be perfect, or when I go over there, I have to be on my best behavior, or whatever it is. So it's really likely that you're going to be feeling some sort of pressure right now, okay? What you're thinking of doing is, what you'd love to do really is just stay home and watch TV and be by yourself and just turn the whole thing off and just have some peace and quiet. Okay? Luckily, the hidden influence of this day is the Queen of Cups, and she's in the center of this entire reading now. So the hidden influence that all of us have is the Queen's capacity to love selflessly, endlessly, and to take care of all of the other people in our lives without burning ourselves out. Look at the magic she creates, but she has this blue dress. Every magic thing that she creates comes from her ability to feel, to be sensitive, to care, to empathize, to sympathize, to nurture and love. The guidance is the Ace of Swords, and that's pretty straightforward. Don't think silly thoughts. Don't say things that you might regret later. So if you're going into something saying, I'm going to entertain these people because they're so dull, then don't do that because it's not going to go over well. If you just go into this week from a complete egotist angle, my thoughts, I'm always right, how dare they say that to me, then you could have some conflict and there might be some squawking going on. So again, realize that you're on a journey to perfection, right? You're not the done deal of yourself. None of us feel, I don't think, that most of us don't feel like we've reached our maximum potential yet. There's still something amazing to come. Now, the Ace of Swords guides you as a warning to say, be careful of how you talk to other people. And also what we tend to do, a common courtesy and just being polite and things like that. With people that we've known for ages and ages and ages, we often think that we can do away with those niceties and just be with family because they're family. You've known them forever. But no, those social niceties still apply. And I think that's a mistake a lot of us make, is that, we can just be ourselves now. Yes, you can, but obviously don't throw out all of the social graces that you usually use during the rest of the year just because you're with people who you think will understand you. But they may not understand you the way you think. So if you watch out for that, that's the only warning, really, as well as this warning, not to be too rigid, to be flexible, adaptable, to allow yourself to be loved, to love, to create magic, to feel your own power. And finally, the outcome for all of us is the Three of Cups. So if we don't say things like, that dress you're wearing looked really good last year when you wore it as well. Like a little put down like that. If you don't do things like that, you're actually going to end up having a fabulous time with friends, family. These three mermaids are in their own bubble of joy. They're just partying, they're having the best time ever, and they're celebrating. Get yourself in the right headspace. You're fine as you are. Remember that, okay, I'm going to be a little bit flexible, even though I don't want to go on the plane, even though I don't want to pack, or even I don't want to take the drive, or I don't want to carry this over to someone's house. I don't want to. Get rid of that and just say, I don't want to, versus, if I do this, how much joy can I create for another person? And that's what's going to get you out of this rigidity and this rut. You're going to say, okay, I'm feeling a little bit uncertain and I'd really rather just keep things as they are. She comes to your rescue, the Queen of Cups, by saying, you don't have to hang on to things and just really keep them as they are because you're safe. And if you drive and if you go see family, it's going to be a wonderful thing and you're going to be able to give them something. Don't just think about how you go into the situation, how everyone's going to attack you. Think about how you can go into that situation and that you actually have a say over how Christmas goes. You have more power than you realize. It's like, when you go to a 12-step meeting, some people come out and they say, oh, well, that was a crappy meeting. No one said anything of use. And the answer to that is, well, you didn't chime up, did you? You didn't say anything that was profound. So stop complaining. You had the opportunity to speak yourself and turn the meeting into something hilarious or extremely profound or very touching and moving, and you did none of that. You're just outside now complaining that other people didn't do it for you. And we can all see that, if you think like that, of course you're not gonna be satisfied because you're setting yourself up to be disappointed. Okay, I'm going to Christmas. I wonder how many dozens of presents I'm gonna get. Of course you're gonna be disappointed if you only then get 1 dozen of presents. Okay, so think about other people and also yourself. How can I nurture myself? How can I really, it's a balancing act. How can I take care of myself and take care of other people during this important time of the year? If you're in a really bad place at the moment and any kind of upset would really not be nurturing to yourself, then really honor that and say, I have to put myself first right now. I can't drive. I just don't have it in me. Or if you realize that you're a little bit nervous, it's okay. Things are a little bit strapped and financial pressures there, which, let's be honest, is usually there for most people. Unless you're someone of independent means and you don't have to work a day in your life. The rest of us are always working, and sometimes money is there, sometimes money isn't there. And the ups and downs can be a little bit worrying, especially if you don't know that there's going to be another up. So those kind of things those are the things we carry with us every day. We try and get rid of. That's why I always harp on about meditation, because that's how you can let go of these things. And if you feel up to it, then ask yourself, all right, I'm okay. I'm not going to break. I am not emotionally fragile right now. I'm in a good place. What can I do to make other people happy? And then you'll also get such joy from giving something magical to another person and then seeing that response in their eyes, how happy they are. That's always a fabulous feeling. So the Queen of Cups is really the boss of this week. It's about realizing that you have the power to create magic and care. And you don't need to wait for anyone to give you anything. You've already got everything you need. The guidance is to think clearly, to think fairly, to think in a way that is inclusive, that is interesting, it's beautiful, it's funny, it leads somewhere. The worst thing is people who tell stories without a punchline. When I was a teacher, there was this one child I worked with, and he used to tell me these stories, and there was no point to them. Oh, yeah, yes, sir. And then after school, I went home, and my backpack was really heavy, so I really struggled with the backpack. And it started raining. Then I got home, and I was home. It's like, right, thank you for that fascinating story. So don't be a bore, I'm saying. Don't talk about all your ailments and how terrible everything is for you right now, and be aware that you have a lot of power to either drag the mood down completely, or you have the power to really lift the mood of this whole event, and you can really make it vibrate higher by giving people the benefit of the doubt, by being friendly, having those social niceties, by saying, okay, I've decided to spend a day with these people. I'm here. Rather than lament the fact that I'm not in my bed snoozing away, I'm going to make the most of it. And I'm also going to see how I can have fun with these people, add something to their lives, and enjoy their company. So basically, don't overthink this week. It's really not that complicated. It's about taking care of yourself first and foremost. If you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anyone else, right? Like, I'm doing that as well. For instance, I'm taking care of myself by doing a weekly reading instead of a daily reading, because I'm in Austria visiting my mother, and what is very nurturing to me at the moment is to have a couple of days just to myself where I can go within and I can read and I can recharge my batteries and I can swim. And for me, that is my way of putting myself first, so that then when I'm back in England, that then I can communicate, and that then I can look back on this time with fondness, that I had a lovely time with the people I met on this trip, that there was a sense of ease and friendship in the air, and just joy, and gales of laughter. Just look for gales of laughter, manifest gales of laughter. So think along those lines and you're guaranteed to have a really lovely time. So it's a win-win for everybody this week. I hope you have a wonderful time. Let's look at the numbers, numerology-wise. We've got a knight, which is a court card. That counts as 1. All court cards count as 1. So she'll be a 1 as well. And the ace is 1. So we've got 1 and 4 is 5. And 1 is 6. And 1 is 7. And 3 is 10. 10 reduces to 1 in numerology. And 1 is not the loneliest number. 1 is the boss. 1 is the magician in the tarot. The magician in the tarot listens to the higher realms or his feelings, the way the Queen of Cups does, and then he uses that energy to create magic on planet Earth. And that's exactly what this Queen of Cups is doing. She's taking her feelings and spinning and twirling around, just creating this light, this joy. You're number 1. You're the boss. You're the pioneer. You're the one who is giving rather than taking. You're the one who's interested in lifting everyone's spirits instead of demanding that other people cater to your every whim and need and demand. If you go the former route, you'll have a wonderful time. If you go the latter route, obviously you won't have as much fun as you can potentially have. So 1 means that you're completely in control of this week. Really, it's an amazing time to own you. Also, be reflective on the year, because we have this Ace of Swords. Think back on the year and say, what have I progressed? How was 2019 better for me than 2018? Have I made progress in terms of my vocation? Do I feel like I'm doing something that I actually enjoy? Have I got nearer to that? Or how have I done this year financially compared with the previous year? Is it better or worse? Socially, have I achieved things socially? Did I want to achieve things socially? Have I made new friends? Or have I been in a new relationship? Or my plan for 2019, for example, is that I will learn how to accept being by myself and I will live alone. Well, reflect on that and see how that went for you and how it made you feel. And take stock of what's been going on within you so you can take care of yourself in future as well as this week, and that you can really move into 2020 knowing all about yourself. Like, let's say you have a relationship with your brother, and you know you love your brother, but suddenly you're out in public, and your brother falls over, and a couple of people watching laugh their heads off in response to your brother falling over. And he's lying on the ground groaning. You don't know whether he's injured himself or not. And you suddenly turn around to the people who are laughing and you tell them to zip it. How dare you to laugh at my brother's pain? You realize about yourself that you not only love your brother, but that you're also very protective of him, which you may have never known before. And that leads me to the final thing I want to say. Knowledge is power. I don't agree. If you realize that you act up and because you feel superior to everyone else, that you are such a terrible snob, knowing that, yes, you can do something about it, but usually knowledge is not power. Usually knowledge is just, oh, okay, I know that I'm protective of my brother. Great. But it's in the action where the value lies. It's going over to those people and saying, zip it, don't laugh at my brother. So it's through action that you will discover things about your own emotional nature. We've got water, 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 interspersed by earth and air. So it's all about your feelings, letting go of the everyday, letting in wonderful ideas to inspire you and lift you and to have a good time. And to finish off the year really well by taking this personal inventory like you would in a business. How many bags of crisps do we need for the new year? How many jars of marmalade? How many loaves of bread? In terms of your personal self, you say, what do I need to do to make 2020 the best year ever? Do I need to join a club to get back into tennis? Do I want to start a business? I feel confident enough now to go live on the other side of the world. Those are all things that only you can decide for yourself. I think a lot of you guys watching this are going to change your circumstances because it gives you a different perspective this time of the year. It's not going to seem as important as it always is. And instead, you're much more open and you're much more teachable and you're much more willing to look at your life and say, okay, this could actually be changed and it wouldn't be such a bad thing. Remember also that the card you picked is really significant. So if you pick this card, then you're going to feel especially nervous and you really don't want to travel. If you chose this card, then your issue or your thing that you have to watch out for is that you don't grip onto things too tightly and that you're flexible and adaptable. If you chose this card, you can really just do a victory dance because you know you're full of love, that all you have to do is twirl around and other people are going to adore you and you're going to create amazing love. So bravo. Woohoo. You guys who picked the Ace of Swords, you're really, really the ones who are going to be inspired by the universe. So make sure that you do your spiritual practice so that you open your channels of receptivity and that you open that little hatch in your mind so that the higher realm info can come in. And if you pick the Three of Cups, then you're likely to have the best time and to get on with people in the best way possible. And you're the one who's going to have the most fun during this period. So that's really interesting. I really like this reading. I like how this came to me to do it this way. I've never done it this way. So that's fabulous. You see that there is a point in meditation. I was sitting there meditating and I thought, what am I doing? Is this really worthwhile? And then I started to go over all of the things that I was worried about. I realized, oh, this is the stuff you're worried about. Then I was able to put those away, let them go. And then once I'd done that in the first 10 minutes and the second 20 minutes, I started to get ideas in. It's only when you clear all the junk that's constantly running around your head, the washing machine, I need to go to the laundromat, I need to run errands, I need to do this, I need to do that. When you're in that washing machine cycle, it's spinning. You can't add another piece of cloth or clothing to a spinning washing machine. It's locked. Only when, this is a terrible example, but only when the cycle is finished and the door opens and you're done with all this physical stuff, then you can take the clothes out and add new clothes. And clothes being a symbol now for ideas and inspiration and the banality and mundane round and round and round and round of the everydayness of life, which you're going to see through like you can see through a window and you'll be much clearer. And these last three cards really indicate that if you are teaching and loving, you're going to have the best time. But not only that, it's going to give you ideas which are really going to serve you in the year to come. So that's fabulous. I hope you have a wonderful week. If you would like a personal reading with me, then please do get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the front page, click on the button to book your personal reading with me. In my personal readings, I use the tarot, I use astrology, numerology, and because I have so much earth in my natal chart, these practical divination systems then open a doorway into my intuition, and I also use that in my reading. So I'm an intuitive astrologer, tarot reader, numerologist. To draw up your natal chart, I need your place of birth, your date of birth, and your time of birth. If you don't have the time of birth, then please order a chart rectification on the website. That's a process where I can work out your time of birth, which is really important for accuracy. Once I have all of that, I can draw up your chart and I can really answer any question you have. If you want to know where the best place is for you to live, when you're going to fall in love, if you're going to fall in love, what's coming up in work, should you make a move? Should you stick with this company and wait for the promotion that never comes, or should you get out of there? So it's a really, really positive and enlightening time. In your chart, I can also look at the transits and the progress chart in terms of how you have changed at this point in your life, what's coming up in future in all areas. I can also have a look at past lifetimes, what your talents are when it comes to work and your life purpose and your soul mission. If you have any questions for me at all, then please just do get in touch via the website gregoryscott.com. If you like this video, then please share it online. That'd be awesome. And subscribe to the channel. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful week. And I will speak to you soon.